Hi, my name is Kris Pillay, and I am going to today present to you the topic of emerging workplace trends post-pandemic and how remote working is having a major effect on the mental health and well-being of employees. I will outline the key benefits of ensuring organizations are in regular contact with their remote workforce as an important factor which can have an impact towards the well-being of its employees and the long-term success of the organization. Post-pandemic, we are seeing a major shift to remote working and in particular working from home. It is noted that even though tight restrictions have somewhat eased, many employees are still working between 2 to 5 days a week from home, which is affecting a person's work-life balance. It is this separation from being in a physical office which is causing employees to feel disengaged and isolated due to the limited physical interaction with fellow workers. This is leading to a rise in the number of mental health cases faced by organizations. It is critical that businesses are maintaining the same level of engagement with its mental health practices and policies as they were pre-pandemic. This is critical in considering we are faced with the reality of ever-increasing number of mental health cases organizations are facing post-pandemic. In the long term, it affects the overall performance of organizations as well as having legal implications. The last thing organizations need is ending up in court and the media for such issues. This can end up being an expensive exercise for businesses and a traumatic experience for the employee involved. When employees feel isolated and not fully engaged with its managers, it leads to considerable strain on these individuals who are working remotely. It is imperative that organizations, and in particular managers and the HR team, continue to be fully engaged with its remote working workforce. It is possible that employee engagement can still be successfully delivered when employees are working remotely. It is important to note that by making mental health practices and policies one of the top priorities will ensure employees are a valued part of the organization. Regular checkups of employees is vital in the ever-changing workplace setting of remote working, as it allows to keep track of any issues that employees could be facing. It would be advisable that regular check-ins by managers and the HR are at least twice a week. Business could also organize engagement days where employees are able to mix with fellow workers in a social setting, even if it's limited to around 1 or 2 hours per week. This could come at a cost to the organization, but would the organization look at cost or the long-term benefit it could provide in having a stable workforce? The post-pandemic workplace trends of working from home has resulted in less social interaction with fellow workers. Pre-COVID, it was commonplace for workers to meet after work on Fridays for drinks and interact in a social and less formal setting outside of work. At the end of the day, as humans, we require an outlet from work which includes interaction with fellow team members in a social setting. Studies show that without this type of contact, mental health issues rise with employees feeling depressed, isolated, and having a sense of not belonging to the workplace. Literature has shown that post-pandemic, when employees who are working remotely are in regular contact with its managers and HR team, they will generally feel a sense of being valued and engaged. They feel part of the organization as they would when working physically in an office setting with face-to-face interaction with fellow staff, management, and HR. This type of approach will result in the decreased employee disengagement and in the long term result in the organization not losing valuable and highly accredited employees. Studies show that by having regular check-ins with workers can result in a drop in employee turnover, with employees feeling a valued part of the business. Research shows that when managers in HR are in regular contact with remote employees in regards to the well-being, the level of job satisfaction is increased and employees tend to stay with the company longer. It also provides the organization important feedback on how they can improve their mental health and well-being practices and policies and build trust amongst its employees. By regular check-ins with workers, will provide managers and the HR department with key information on what barriers employees are facing and how they can improve their overall experience of working from home. Managers who show they take mental health and well-being of their employees as the number one priority tend to have more motivated and loyal workers. It is probably recommended that these check-ins be informal, allowing for workers to feel comfortable in discussing any mental health and well-being issues they are facing. In conclusion, I must stress that this is only a small brief of the many benefits of making your mental Employees' mental health and well-being are number one priority in your organization. It will greatly contribute to a positive outcome for both employee and organizational success. I strongly recommend that during a time where employees are working remotely more often, that your organization continues to build and not fall behind in implementing and monitoring its mental health and well-being policies and processes. It will only increase the organization's reputation as a leader in the employee well-being space and make it an attractive place to work. If you have any questions or need further insight, please do not hesitate to reach out to discuss this further. Thank you.